Hi guys, Rich and RC here. Thought I'd make a quick video because I have recently ordered one of these. It's basically a cheap RC toy that you get off one of the many internet sites. I got this off Banggood. I paid about £6.50 or just under that. The reason I got this was, I'm just trying to open it up at the same time, was for the actual shell itself. And I'll show you that in a sec, but let me just show you how you get. So the idea was I got this for the army kind of truck. You get different colours, army, navy, I guess, and whatever the other one is, desert truck, to go on my FTX Mini 2.0. Previously I've been using this shell. Problem is, again, this is off a toy. Although this is great, I've noticed that it's quite heavy going for the car because this is metal. It's got metal panels, frame is metal, and that's quite a bit of extra weight. So when I'm out and about messing around, it really is heavy going for this, and I can really hear the servo working on the steering and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted something cheap, plastic, that I can just shove on it and still have a good time. So I ended up with this, and this is the truck. And basically, if I just put this back on it, this is what it is. And there are no screws holding this. It's literally just a click in place. It clicks into the posts here, go into here, and on the back. This is how cheap it is. It is literally forward and in reverse it turns. It really is, you know, bog standard, cheap, cheerful stuff that you probably get in the pound shops almost. The tyres are hard plastic. So I literally got, I might actually make use of this. I've just discovered this. The mud guards and stuff. That's given me a thought. See, this is the thing, when you start going into stuff, you start discovering other things. But anyway, I didn't really want to use this. I got it purely for the body. And the body lines up. So if I just move this out of the way, I can show you what I'm talking about. So if I just do this. Assume that's on properly. But if you check if you see the... Now, I've already shared some photos of this online on a couple of Facebook groups I'm on, but I thought for my YouTube family, if you guys want to see this, you can see it as well. It pretty much, the tyres line up pretty much almost exactly. A little bit here or there, a little bit of bodging will be in order, but if I do this again, if I do it on this side, there we go. Excuse the mess in the background. So it lines up bang on. So I literally got it today, and the first thing I did was I started bodging and doing stuff. Now what you will need to do if you are planning to do this is on the bottom. So that's where these things are. Underneath it, you can see I've basically cut it across because it actually comes up a bit. Goes down like that on both sides. It comes up and goes across. So yeah, so it comes across. So I've had to cut that end on that end there. If you do get one of these, you'll know what I'm talking about. It basically looks a bit like this. It juts out, and the idea was that it was hitting the posts here and here. Similarly at the front, on the FTX Mini, you have this kind of fake plastic winch. Well, this had the same thing, which was catching here, so it kind of sat up. So what I had to do was I cut that out. Be warned, when you do cut it, although it is cheap plastic, it does crack. As you can see, I've already got a little bit of a crack here, and it went all the way through the body because I put a bit too much pressure. I tried to use an X-Acto knife. It didn't quite work, and I didn't want to cut my fingers up, so I just use a pair of Tamiya, kind of those curved scissors, Lexan body shell curved scissors, and it seemed to work okay until I hit a little bit of a hard bit where they've put some kind of strengthening for the mold and stuff, and that's where mold and also fit the front end here. and that's where I cut through it, and it kind of snapped a little bit, but it's still in one piece. And anyway, those cracks for me add a little bit of realism, and that's the story I'm using. And then it's just a question of mounting it. Now the problem is, my previous one, you can see the body mounts, which are from the FTX, which are the Mini-Outback 2, which are there and there. The front ones are still on the car. I really don't want to hack this up, but I also was in two minds about putting Velcro. So I'm not sure yet if I'll put Velcro down or just do a couple of body holes and just put this, because at the end of the day, it is just a bit of fun. I can always probably paint it over it, or, you know, make some mock-up, you know, there's little spotlights at the front or something to cover it. But yeah, so this is now going to go and sit on top of this. Obviously, because it's already got, although the car itself doesn't have lights, as far as I can tell. No, it doesn't. The truck itself. These have little holes, so I'm pretty certain I can get some 1/24 scale, some lights for it. I don't want to really move that because I've glued that stuff in place. And you can get front and rear lights for it. The only other thing, so at the moment, if I just pause this again. There you go. So that's what it's going to pretty much look like when it's done. You can see I cut a little bit too much out of it, but I can still probably reduce a little bit from here and here and make it drop down. The next thing is obviously the height, because no one drives an army truck like that, not as far as I can tell. So I'm having to move the body backwards and forwards a bit to line up the posts. And I know at the rear, the posts are going to come through these two things here, which I really don't want to do. But then again, you know, this is a 1/24 scale. I'm not going for realism. It's just a bit of fun. Can I be bothered leaving it as it is? I might just cut a few holes here and there. Which got me onto the next dilemma. How do you cut holes when you can't see what's going on? And the trick is our friend Blue Tack. Let me show you what I do. Let me pause this again. So there you go. I have put some Blue Tack at the front, roughly where I think it's going to be, and spread it out. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to mount the body shell to this. Make sure that the front is lined up. So again, let me pause it for a sec. Right, so this is how I have done it. Basically, I've turned it upside down and I've matched the front to kind of sit in here a little bit. As you can see, you can really see how bodged I've done it. But this is where it becomes an issue, because if you see, it's not really lining up lengthways. So what I need to do is pull it back a bit. There you go. So I've pulled it back a bit so the actual wheel arches, the wheel wells fit. I can probably pull it back a few more millimeters if need be. But what I do is the Blue Tack, which is underneath, I press the body shell down onto the posts, and when I do that and lift it off, you will see some marks. Obviously I've done it wrong because I had to remeasure it, but the idea is once you do it once, you will know which holes I've done. It's not exactly a best example, but the idea is once you've done it, you will know which body holes, which holes you need to put the post, here we go, which holes you need to put the post through, and then you can use a body reamer and start reaming. Now I've actually done this. I've made this video after the fact. I did it first time quite well, as is usually the case when you're doing it on the video itself. You make all these mistakes, but if you see, you can see I've actually got two holes primed and ready. I just need to read them out a little bit more, and it's a job done. So I can put at least the body post showing through a little bit. You don't need to worry about these, because initially I thought it won't marry up because it'll hit what is basically the receiver ESC, but you don't need to worry about that, because as you move the body shell that way, in that direction, it will sit under here. It won't hit this little gap here. It won't hit this ridge, or it won't hit this. It'll sit nicely, just touching this. It also has a cabin. Again, none of these things are screwed down. This is how cheap and cheerful it is. It is literally just, that's it. There you go. So you can drill it in place, hold it in place, glue it in place, whatever. But there's no metal screws or anything. It's really nice and easy to work on. But anyway, I thought I'd share that, share this. Lights, I paid about £6.50 or just under for this. Not going to really use this because it is really cheap, cheerful electronics. I have no use for any of this stuff. I might mess about with the wires and things. What I might do is I might try and use the plastic mud guards, see if I can put that inside the wheel wells, because that's pretty cool. I like stuff like that, so I might see if I can just bodge a bit of that to get a bit of realism onto the shell. But yeah, I'll put the link in the description of where I got it from. And yeah, good luck. Enjoy. Share what you guys think. Share if you guys have tried it. As I said, I'm a huge Army fan, Army Forces fan. You know, everything, whether it's Vietnam gun trucks, whether it's you know, American, Russian, British, whatever, you know, if it's forces, I'm there. You know, planes, choppers, subs, boats, trucks, you know, jeeps, whatever. Love it all. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll put the link to it. I got it off Banggood. As I said, I paid just under about £6.50 for it. So yeah, good fun. Definitely makes a welcome change to your FTX Mini 2.0. It's 1/24 scale, so I wonder if it may actually work for other 1/24 scale stuff if you got like similar off-road jobs like this. So anyway, it's Friction RC saying, hope you've enjoyed my little discovery. Take care of yourselves if you're still, you know, COVID's still going on. But yeah, ciao for now.